We might have to keep going here, keep our eye on that capture there. Okay, anyways, we're back online for sure.
So anyway, so you just keep doing this. There is a saying that in Italy, unless there's sweat that has dripped down your back, you haven't kneaded it enough yet. But
Now, are you good at like spinning pizza dough and making circles out
I
of
can
it
do it
in the air?
Yeah,
That's really fun.
That's fun.
Yeah, it's like flipping it. And
yeah,
that's like when I watch chefs on TV flipping food in the pan because they're so good at it. You know, nothing gets. I mean, I do it every once in a while. I inevitably pieces of asparagus go flying or something like that.
So you can feel that. It's getting closer.
Yeah. It's kind of hard and dense.
Right, hard and dense, but it will.
Is that a test you're doing to make sure you
don't
want
spring
to
back a little bit.
A little bit. That's what it looks like.
You don't want to get a lot of air in it, obviously, because then you get noodles that have air pockets.
And they won't be have integrity along the whole length of the noodle either. They'll probably break apart while you're cooking it. Do you worry about that? Do you want the noodles to be like long and?
I like them to just stay whatever it is that I originally cut them.
You don't want them to break apart when in the.
Yeah, because that will release powder from inside.
Yeah.
And you end up with a powdery.
Powdery. Okay, got it. Keep talking. All right. That's great. So really, it looks to me like you did a pretty good job of figuring out almost exactly around a liquid. Yeah, it's pretty close. If I think about that in there, it's maybe a little bit too much, but not that off. So if Julia was going to make this for her whole family, would this be a mount that would do the whole
This would have never happened.
Okay.
She would have had it exactly right.
But just by eyeballing?
Yeah.
So she would gauge the number of people that are coming over and then make the exact right amount. Wow.
Yeah. And there would not be having to do
two batches
like this either. That would be amateurish, you know.
But who cares? We're amateurs. We're not professionals. You just like it. She's like been doing it for what, 50 years?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So now
you've been doing it for what, 10 years?
Yeah. So now it's getting closer. You see, it's just getting this kind of nice golden, smooth exterior.
Nice, yeah.
Yep. I'm doing a little bit more, and then we'll put it in some cellophane, saran wrap.
And what's the cellophane do to it?
It just protects it from getting hard a crust.
Oh yeah.
While it's high.
So you want to keep it moist, just an idea.
Yes.
You want cellophane or foil?
Cellophane. Okay.
That's really interesting. I tell you, what the hell are these guys doing? Come on, Thomas. You just have to run that thing over here. Oops. There you go.
That's that.
There you go. Perfect. All right, put another piece on it. Perfect.
I'll put that aside.
Okay.
And let's finish this up.
Okay. I'll put these in the away. Actually, I should be cleaning up while you're going along. That way we don't have any.
Yeah, that's like would happen
Jesus,
for.
you see how many eggs we have here? We got like another maybe 20 of them. 4 of them.
Maybe next you can make carbonara.
What's that?
You can make pasta carbonara next week with what's left over here. It's a pasta carbonara is an egg noodle that's cooked and then mixed very quickly with egg.
So now, if it's too moist, you just add more flour, right?
Sure.
That's pretty easy. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but the ideal is not to have any, because it's kind of like a classic yin and yang. You have that imbalance at some point or another. It's going to show up in the product. Either being too doughy, too paste-like, or too too uneven.
Yeah, but I'm just saying if it's too moist right now, you just add more flour to it.
Yeah.
That's not going to kill anything, is it?
No.
The only question is how does it look in the end result, right?
And how it tastes, yeah.
But I guess to elaborate on my question, if adding more flour after this part isn't going to change the chemical structure of it.
I don't know about chemical structure. It may change the consistency because everything is not being incorporated in the liquid at the same time.
Right.
So you're adding like a level,
yeah,
another strata.
Yeah,
is that the way
that's sort of what I'm thinking of. You know, that it could.
You want to avoid it,
yeah.
But it's not going to be critical.
Yeah. If you have a little bit left over flour too, just throw it away. It's not like it's
right.
any big. It's not a whole lot.
This is an eggier, stickier. This will be kind of cool to compare how this comes out compared to.
How could it be eggier? Oh, because there's less flour in it.
Less flour, yeah.
That's interesting.
And different, you'll see different chefs will say, well, I want a wet flour. I want a wet egg flour.
You mean like a pasta chef will say that?
Yeah, yeah, like and for different things. Let's say you're making agnolotte, which is a very kind of buttery tortellini-like dish, pasta that's stuffed. They'll say, "Oh, make a really wet, eggy," and that's more like this.
So you're doing this on purpose, making it eggier on purpose?
No, I'm doing it like this because that was the.
Well, could you incorporate more flour?
I could, but it just wouldn't work as well. I guess I could put a little bit more.
I don't know anything about it, so I'm just asking.
It's feel. You'll see after you've done this a few times. There's questions that cannot be answered. Only experienced.
Okay, all right. That's why I'm drinking wine. I understand those kind of things better. So
Italians, that's a good thing.
I should have really opened Italian wine, but I'm drinking German wine, so.
Der Deutsche in der eingeladene Springenhofen Dingendorfer.
Have you been to Germany?
Nein,
Nein.
But ich kann es sprechen.
Well, what kind of name is Critser?
Critser? Well, I think it's Dutch and English.
How could it be Dutch and English? I mean, it's.
I don't know, too. A Dutchman and an Englishman fucked.
Well, one thing is
half Italian though.
One thing is really interesting. I was reading this history of half Italian. Half Italian. There's like a little lag there. It's half Italian. No, I was going to say is that I was reading this history of cocktails one time, and they were talking about at one point gin. Oh no, here's how it came about. We were watching a show called Bleak House by what's his name, Charles Dickens, is that right? Wrote Bleak House. And then what happens in that show is there's a guy it's a ginny, and his name is Mr. Crook, and he spontaneously combusts because he drinks too much gin, and apparently Dickens thought that was conceivably possible. Yeah. And so I got interested in because everybody was drinking gin. Gin was like they had different levels of gin based on how much it costs per bottle. Yeah. So the guy would tell you, well, I got the 10 pence bottle this time, so we should really enjoy this. And it's really interesting. And apparently back in those days, gin was like you said, they drank it a lot of it because they didn't have good water sometimes. And it was the word gin comes from Dutch. It's Dutch product. The Dutch invented it, and gin is like the shortened version of the Dutch word for juniper.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like Joan or something like that, and then the English kind of bastardized it to their own, and became basically a.
It's juniper berry. It's from juniper berry.
Yeah, juniper berry is the main ingredient, but they have about how many herbs they have? Let's see here. Wild juniper combined with subtle spices of coriander, lemons, oranges, and other herbs.
Now you have to remember to be gentle but firm. The dough, she's like a woman. You must handle gently.
Yeah.
But you must control.
Is that what they say?
Yes.
Who says that? Who says that?
Chef Critser.
Obviously not a woman.
Chef Critser says this.
Yeah, okay.